less or more. I am not so sure, but I guess the wisdom of my senses will explore and then assess the score.
In today's climate, it would be very easy to get pigeonholed in the mind of a reader, an agent, or a publisher as a right wing something or other. I'm not even sure, you know. I mean, I don't even like using the terms or the categories that I suspect these people refer to because they're so meaningless to me. But that's kind of the point, that people do have these compartments and these categories, and they do have these associations. And yeah, looking at the deep parapolitical, it's very ironic and paradoxical because Marxism is all about that to some degree. It's not about conspiracy theory, but conspiracy theory itself is a misnomer that has kind of created the reality that it named in some way. As in, you're not necessarily positing a global conspiracy, let's say, if you're looking at long-term deep state social engineering. It's just that it really looks like a conspiracy theory that, you know, is of that kind, right? So yeah, there's a danger of getting tainted by association if you talk about certain things, and I think that would be a superficial explanation for why somebody like Erik Davis stays away from it. I mean, Erik and I have talked about this, and but we haven't reached a satisfying conclusion. And
I detected a real resistance on his part to actually talk content.
Yeah.
He was just talking conspiracy theory per se.
That's right. So it's almost, as I've written in this current book and blog post that led up to it, it's almost a philosophical position that some of these people take, as if, no, this isn't the right frame through which to view the world, because well, one of the reasons they give is that, you know, conspiracy reduces it too much to nuts and bolts and human agency and all the rest of it, and there's something much deeper going on here. And I don't disagree with that at all. But I mean, Kripal himself is on record as saying he doesn't do conspiracy theory, and he doesn't mean that's not my field. He means he doesn't go there. He doesn't believe it has any validity. That's how he means it.
Does he really?
Well, I mean, I can't speak for him, but if you listen to the times he said it in the context, that's what he's saying. Like when he's asked, what about Esalen and the suggestion that Esalen has been a front for the CIA and that has been complicit with programs of, you know, psychic research and whatever, he'll say, I don't do conspiracy theory. Boom. Right? End of question. But he's the official biographer of Esalen. So the only justification for saying that in that way would have to be, I don't believe there's any validity in it. Because if he was just saying, well, that's not my area, but I'm the official biographer of Esalen, well, then he's obviously exposing his complete lack of seriousness or rigor as an academic, which I think, personally, I think is true. I don't think he's a very rigorous researcher or academic. I think he's very woolly-minded. But as with Lavender, it's very hard to tell when it's woolly-mindedness and when it's strategic, deliberate evasion.
I just think it's interesting that we're at a time where MK Ultra itself is not taboo for a mainstream publisher.
That's right.
And yet the religious studies folks can't touch it. And I thought it was very interesting, your comment about, are you noting that Pasulka had said, what did she say? She said she had children or something to that effect?
Yeah, that's right. She had children and she had, you know, a position that she needed to maintain at the university.
Yeah, that's all very strange.
I'm
quite struck at my reluctance, well, I kept reading your book, so I couldn't have been too reluctant, but it really did hit me between the eyes.
With Kripal,
Pasulka, even Davis. I mean, for me, they're a troika. I mean, the two of them studied with Kripal.
Okay.
So
Well, that's okay. That's an interesting point, because I don't write about Pasulka in Prisoner Infinity because I hadn't read it at that point. But then I did the blog posts about it. I didn't talk to Erik about Pasulka, even though I wanted to. I think I sent him those essays. It's a very difficult area or subject to approach in terms of, I mean, accusing an academic of faulty research or faulty reporting is already pretty sensitive. Accusing them of actually, lying is, I mean, you just can't do it, really. I mean, there isn't really any point in doing it, because if you're right, they're just going to keep lying, and if you're wrong, well, you don't want to be saying that, right? So,
Yeah.
But ignoring it completely, I mean, there's no point in having a conversation if you're going to completely ignore something.
Well,
So
I think the irony of it is you may wind up being the one being completely ignored.
well, yes, that's right. That's very true, and that's more or less the case with Prisoner Infinity. Not that it's been completely ignored, but it's been completely ignored by the people who are aligned with or propagating the narratives that it's challenging.
Process blissful.